What is the worst storm that you remember being a part of? Now, I've been fortunate in my life to not have had to experience tornadoes or earthquakes or hurricanes or some of those natural disasters that a lot of people go through in their lifetime. I do remember a storm when I was driving through Oklahoma in the middle of summer. It went from a sunny day to a torrential thunderstorm, and then suddenly there were like hail, giant big balls of hail. And I was pretty frightened because I was worried that all of this hail was going to break the windows of my car. And here I was in the middle of a highway surrounded by semi-trucks and cars, nowhere to go. Now, I was fortunate. The glass didn't break, but my car was totaled by all of the damage. And so that was frightening. Now, my children have lived here in Arizona. We're kind of storm safe here in the valley. But sometimes we do have these big monsoons and haboobs, and we had one of those recently. So I took my kids outside so that they could see it rolling in as it came up from the south. There's a big wall, and it's starting to billow, and the wind starts to pick up. And as it got closer and closer, it was kind of exciting. Then it got a little scary, and finally we're like, we have to go inside. And so we rushed inside before the wind got strong. And then you know that feeling when it gets dark because the storm is on top of you. And so imagine that you're the children of Israel, not my children experiencing haboob, but the children of Israel. You're out in the desert. You've survived escaping Egypt and all the plagues, and you've crossed the river and you're wandering, and now you're at Mount Sinai. Well, what is going to happen next? Suddenly the mountain is covered in smoke. There's fire. There's sounds of trumpets. It's like a giant storm in the mountain. And then Moses, your leader, says, I'm going to go in there and I'm going to talk to God. Now, great things happen, but I'm not sure that many of us would have been the first to volunteer to go into that, to spend time with God. But please join us in worship this weekend, either in person or online, to learn a little bit more about that story of Mount Sinai. But for now, I wanted to figure out how I could depict some of the power and the excitement and the majesty that is God when he exhibits himself on earth. I thought of that old Twyla Paris praise song, He is Exalted. Listen to these words. He is exalted. The King is exalted on high. I will praise him. He is exalted, forever exalted, and I will praise his name. Heaven and earth rejoice in his holy name. He is exalted. The King is exalted on high. So I'm going to take the organ and all the power that it has and try and transport you to Mount Sinai with some thunder and some trumpets on this beautiful toccata that Fred Brock has arranged of this hymn, He is Exalted. I hope you enjoy.